Hello comedians, on this video I'm going to give you 5 writing prompts that you can choose to start from every time you begin a comedy writing session. That way you will never sit down for a moment longer in front of a blank piece of paper and not know where to start to get the comedy flowing. The aim for this video is to get you writing much quicker, and the more you do this, the quicker you are going to become and the more creative and funnier your material will be. Here are the 5 topics we are going to cover today. Number 1, life's awkward moments. 2 is family and relationships. 3 is modern technology. 4 is the quirks of everyday life. And finally, number 5 is pet peeves and irrational thoughts. What I want you to do is write down these 5 prompts in your writing pad, and each time you go to your writing session, you are going to start working on one of these prompts and you are going to start writing immediately. It doesn't need to be funny. It doesn't need to be rehearsed. It doesn't need to be previously thought about at all. You are just going to start writing. The idea here is to get creative as quick as possible. The jokes will come later because if you look back at what you wrote, there's going to be hidden jokes within there. It's just a matter of editing what you've already put down on the page. Let's dive in a little bit more theory and I'll give you a few ideas on each of the prompts. Writing prompt number 1, you are going to write down life's awkward moments, and under it I want you to start talking about your life. Start talking about all the things you care about and on a day-to-day experience all of the things that you get up to. But here's where you're going to get creative. You are going to exaggerate on as many details as you can. If you can exaggerate on absolutely everything, then continue to do that, because the more you can exaggerate, the more your mind's going to start wandering, and that's a good sign because you want to follow it and just keep writing. So if you have a job, if you have a relationship, or if there's something you do in your typical life, very, very broad picture here to open up the writing session. I don't want you to be trapped in. I don't want it to be a small area of your life. I want it to be a general day-to-day of the things you get up to. While you're writing the detail, I want you to also find awkward moments in your day-to-day life. Start by reflecting on your own life and identify any awkward moments that you've experienced. These could be any awkward situations from social encounters or anything through business that left you feeling really embarrassed. Think about that moment that made you want to disappear or just laugh at yourself. These are the moments that are going to resonate with others. You can even write unexpected twists into the awkward moments. By turning around the whole thing on its head towards the end of the story is a real fresh and unique way of looking at something. So there are no rules, there are no limits on what you can do here straight out the gate with something as basic as talking about a day-to-day interaction. The second prompt I want you to focus on is family and relationships. We all have many stories, certainly embarrassing ones, great ones, humorous ones, horrible ones about the past and our experiences with our own family. By bringing this up in a stand-up comedy setting is always going to be a lot of room to play with. So I want you to expose all the secrets, and if you don't have any, or if you choose not to expose them, then I want you to make up fresh ones. I want you to get creative with this and make up crazy scenarios about how against the norm your family are, or else they are normal and you are the one that is the black sheep in the family. Our third prompt is modern technology. Now this is a very broad area. We can be talking about social media, we can talking about gadgets, we can talk about your love for technology or your hate for it. Another place that most of us feel quite strongly about one way or another. That way your ideas are going to come very, very quickly as you write about this. So get it onto the paper. Number 4 is the quirks of everyday life. This is something that you have to do every single day. It might be the commute you have to work. It might be the fact that you work at home and there's something about that you can tell people. Whatever it is you do in your day that has to be done every single day consistently, I want you to put that on the page here. Here's where observation comedy is very, very strong. In your day-to-day life, you're going to notice things, and the more you put them on paper and make fun of them, the funnier you're going to be and quicker you're going to be respond to when those situations arise again, or when new situations arise. Number 5, our final prompt is pet peeves and irrational thoughts. This is where you just open up and be honest with the audience on what really annoys you, or what is an irrational thought throughout the day. Do you want to murder everybody in your workplace? On this channel, I'm not saying you should do it, Maybe there's only about 2 of them you should murder. Okay, please don't murder anybody. But here's where I want you to be honest with some of the maybe more embarrassing sides to yourself that you wouldn't share with other people, but hey, it's safe. You're on stage now. All you're telling is the people in front of you. There's humor in that. There's humor in being honest in a way with the audience that you wouldn't with a close friend. If you let the audience know, I'm going to let you in on a secret here. Here's how I think about certain things. That's a very humorous and unique way to come from on stage, because why the hell would you trust all the strangers in front of you? There's a lot of humor to be played from there. There's 5 techniques. If you put those 5 headlines on your page at the beginning of every single writing session you do and start writing without thinking about anything, even for the first 5 to 10 minutes of your writing session, and if there's something you want to work on that doesn't have to do with any of these headlines, well, at least you've started 5 or 10 minutes, you've started by writing. So when you do work on your written material that has nothing to do with these headlines, if that's the case, well, at least you've already written 5-10 minutes. Your brain's going to be all fired up. You're not going to be just looking at a blank piece of paper, which I want none of you to be experiencing. Your writing session should be writing session. That's going to be it from this rant. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're excited to go and start another writing session. And if you've got this far in the video, the last few seconds, you are probably 1% of 1% on this channel. So thanks for sticking with me. See you on the next one.